Hi everyone, good morning. It's all about positive vibe again, and we are here online. Please ignore my baby; he's crying. Can you please, you guys, help me carry that baby? Sorry, Kaka. Sorry, that's part of it. But anyway, last week we talked about being a wife before he finds you. We talked about having a good character. We also talked about not just having a good character, but also trying to go to a place that they will discomfort yourself. Maybe go to stay with your auntie, maybe your uncle, so that is very very good in marital affairs, and just so that the person will help you um build you as a wife before he finds you. And that was it for last week. And today, um, we'll have to discuss another part of it. That's the part two of last previous discussion. So, Kaka, you have to start before me, or should I go first?
Yes, go first. Go first.
Okay, okay, let me go first. Okay, today, how to prepare yourself as a wife before he finds you. Today, I'm talking about trying to be contented with what you have, trying to managing resources, whatever you have. You should try not to let how to manage your resources. If you have 15 naira, you should be able to know how to use that 15 naira, because when you get married, it's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you try to learn how to save, because it's going to help you. You should try to learn how to have a savings account now. If you don't have a savings account, I think you should learn it, because it's going to help you when you get married. At least seriously, sometimes my husband will call me manager. I'm so happy about it, because it's very very important you learn how to manage resources now you are single, because it's going to help you. Because if you don't know how to manage now, when you get married, it's going to be a very very difficult problem. And secondly, I also want to be talking about apart from managing resources, I'm talking about try to you should learn how to solve problem, because it will not be fair when you get married. You start narrating your problems to, and whenever you have any issue, you start telling your friends, your mom, your dad. You should be able to resolve it before. If it's something that you cannot resolve, I think it should now be time maybe to talk to your parents, because it's not fair for your parents to intruding in your marriage. It's not going to help you at all. So you should try to be a problem solver. And me, when it comes to me, when I have some issues, because normally you have issues, I first of all talk to God about it, and I always pray to God to always give my husband the wisdom to always do things the way he ought to do it. So, and that's just it. Even me as well, give me the wisdom, because I can't change anybody, but God can be the only one that can change a person. So before Kaka comes, I'll just be talking more. Please, why am I saying this? A lot of people, when you have issues in your marriage, you just want to call your parents, you just want to call your mom, you just want to tell your friend. I think you should try to talk to God about it. I think also you should just get a book on marital affairs that can also help you. You should prepare your mind, get your mind matured before you go into early marriage. I don't think it's advisable when you have any issues, you just start calling your mom immediately, start calling your parents immediately. It will not be a nice one at all, at all. So please, I would advise we all try to prepare ourselves to be that wife before he finds you. Like I was saying before Kaka, like I was saying before Kaka went offline, we should try and manage our resources. It is very very important. Try to learn at okay, she's online. Kaka, and okay, over to you. Over to you, please. Hello, Kaka. Wow, the network is not being friendly at all today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I just want to
Sorry, the network is very
okay,
bad.
definitely. Well, that's it. So can you just go ahead, please?
Okay. How can I be a wife before he finds me?
Yeah,
First of all, I like defining the key terms. I checked through the Google and I checked what a wife is. And let me
yeah,
read it. A wife is a woman who is tasked with the roles of being discreet, chaste,
okay.
a keeper of the home, and spiritually minded for her husband.
Oh, that's true.
So that is who a wife is. A wife is a woman who is stuck to the road. So our role, a wife's role is to be discreet, to be
Yeah,
chaste, a
yeah.
keeper of the home, and spiritually minded for our husband. Now, before you said you want to become a wife, you have to possess this role. You have to possess this role. Number one, we've talked about character. Character is a paramount thing that a woman needs to have.
And that's our
There is
topic last
saying,
week. But what we are dealing this week is managing resources and try to learn how to solve problems because we discussed about a character last week.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, managing of resources.
Yes,
Now,
managing of resources and trying to
another thing,
solve problem before narrating it to your friends, your parents, and all that.
okay, another thing, I also want to talk about, which we are already talking about here, in terms of preparation. As a woman or as a lady, you have to be open-minded and be
Yeah.
flexible. Now, what do I mean by flexible? Be ready to change at any time. The man you are about getting married to, you should know the kind of person you are about getting married to. That's why there is need for courtship. You should know, although most courtship there's usually pretense, but at least you should be able to know who the man you are getting married to. Now, if for example you are getting married to a man who does not know how to manage resources, because there are some men who do not know how to manage resources. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
getting married
true.
to a man who cannot manage resources, you as a wife, you should be able to keep your home in the way that you should be able to help the man manage resources. Now, I have a particular friend. Her husband usually is the kind of person that flex life. He likes spending, even if
Yeah.
he's in a rented apartment. He likes buying cars in a
Wow.
rented apartment. Though he likes buying cars, he likes flexing life, buying gold. He's a extravagant man. But one thing that this woman did, this my friend did. His wife, her husband is outside the country. He's in I think it's Dubai. So anytime that the man sends down money, he said the man sends down money for upkeep. Now, anytime the man sends down money, what she does is she keeps it. She saves it, she takes some, she's working, because see, what a man really wants is what can you bring into the house? What can you bring to the table? A man does not want a liability. Yes. He might tell you, okay, don't work, don't do this, I'll provide this. But we have so many online businesses now. You have to engage in that for you to be financially buoyant in case something happens to your husband's finances. Now, what this woman usually do, if that have her husband sends down money, she will keep the money, she will collect money for some expenses. So she had to buy land out of that money her husband sent to her.
That's savings.
She
That's what I'm
built,
talking about. Savings.
yes,
It,
she
yeah.
built a gigantic house. Her husband was not even aware of the house that this woman
Wow.
was building, was
That's
not
nice.
aware. It was when she finished building that house, out of the upkeep that the husband sent to her, when
Really?
she finished building the house, her husband came down to Nigeria and come and see. The husband was so wowed because
Wow.
it's not that there are some people that do not see buying properties as a necessity. So she used the opportunity to get a house, and her husband was wowed. So
I'm
in
so
that
you know
case,
what,
the
Kaka,
woman
I'm so like she didn't even like she didn't just focus on the husband's fault, but she was able to use that fault to achieve something nice.
to
You know,
achieve
some people they will just be
something,
focusing
yes,
on the fault. Like you understand,
yes,
because my husband is doing it, but she helped her. She helped him to manage that fault of his without him knowing.
yes,
She's into the
yes,
perfect.
without knowing. You
Yeah.
see, it's not really easy to change habits. It's not really easy
I'm
to change
telling you, it
habits.
only takes God.
So
Seriously,
it
it takes
takes the
God.
grace of God, yes, persistence. So is this kind of man that even the wife was complaining that I've been telling my husband this, but
Sorry, Kaka. Before, sorry to cut you short. That is why, like I do tell people, don't accept. Let me say, for instance, you're into a courtship. Don't accept something you cannot accept in
yeah,
that courtship, because definitely you see it in your marriage. Whatever you cannot accept in a courtship, please don't accept it, because when you get married, you definitely
yeah,
see it. That's just it. So the decision
yeah,
is left for you to make during that stage of your courtship, because when you accept it, that means you're accepting it into marriage, and you cannot change him. Let me just tell you, it takes God for you to change a person. So go ahead.
yes,
Sorry.
very difficult. So that's really how to manage resources. So as a woman, you should be able to manage your resources. If you are this kind of flamboyant person, this kind of person that usually spend a lot, at least, if because a man does not really want, because with what I have seen, a man, except if the man does not want to get married to you, a man does not
uh,
really want a woman
that spends
who
a
does
lot.
not have the sense of saving,
Yeah.
who likes spending without even
Okay,
thinking of the
Kaka.
future.
Because of time, can we move on to the next one, which is
Okay, now the next one, which you said, how to handle
narrating your
handle
problems.
situation. How to
Yeah.
handle situation. Now, the first thing, how do you handle situation? How do you handle change and the unexpected? Because, like we said, things will surely happen. There is no home that is rosy. There is no marriage at all that is rosy.
I'm
Even
telling you.
brothers and sisters, they quarrel. Now talk more of husband and wife, they will quarrel. Now, how do you handle such situation? That's why the first thing, you don't need to allow third party into your marriage. First thing, because most times those third party you are allowing into the marriage, they are not in your marriage to see how your marriage works. You know, if for example, my husband does this, my husband does this, and I go to my friend and tell my friend that my see what my husband is doing to me, and my friend will say, in my own home, this is what I do to my husband, this is what I, you cannot apply what your friend is doing in your own home, because it might cause issue. So
Yes.
you yourself know who your husband is, or you yourself know the kind of person he is, so you should be able to help handle situation. And it's not everything that you tell your parents. There are some things you should tell your parents when it comes to drastic situation that you know that you cannot handle yourself. That's when you can tell somebody who is close
Yes.
to you.
Yeah.
Somebody who is close to you, a
I
good
think when you
friend.
start
When I mean a
indulging,
good friend,
something that is not, I think, most especially when it involves beating when it
yes,
comes to beating,
domestic
you understand?
violence,
I think you
yes,
should open up. Yeah, violence. I think you should open up. Yeah, I think you should find someone that
yes,
is godly. It's very good you talk to God about everything, because God will everything direct you to someone that you can talk to. That's why you just have to talk to God about everything, most especially when you're
yes.
having issues with man. Like I said, that we have no marriage is perfect. When I'm having some issues, I just sit down, kneel down, and talk to God about it, and He will just give me a way to solve the issues. That's just it.
Yes, so you need God. You need to talk to God, and at the same time, most times, we really need to pour out our mind to somebody. So we should be able to choose a person who can separate
Yeah.
sentiment from reasoning, and pour out your mind. Tell the person. Now, the person will advise you. Now, it's not left for you to take the advice, and there's a kind of advice you don't need to take and some advice you need to take. Take the advice, talk to somebody who is good. Not, there are some people who would just want to say, there's a particular movie I watched, somebody sent to me, the husband of the girl was misbehaving, and the friend came and telling the woman to leave the house. And guess what? That same friend that was telling the woman to leave the house is that same friend that later got married to her husband. So what are we saying? So it's not every friend you need to tell your problem to.
Yeah,
It's not every
that's true.
friend. You need to choose a good. When I mean good, I mean, in fact, that person should be able to
Do you know?
to
I don't know if you, do you know. Let me ask you this question. Let me just opportunity to ask you this question. Like I do. I don't know. It someone was telling me that when you about getting married, that sometimes you just have to do away with your old SIM cards, or that sometimes you just have to do away with some friends of yours because you are going into another stage of life. how true is that? Does it really help? Because me, when I get married, I didn't do it with my old SIM card. I'm still using that previous SIM card, and I still have my previous friend. But though I normally choose my friend because I normally ask God to give me that friend as a gift to me. So I don't know how possible, how true is that statement?
There's what we call friend, and there's what we call a I don't know what to call it. There are good friends. There are friends that just are just there to spoil ever whatever you want. When I wanted to marry my husband was a copper. We met as coppers. I have a friend. Was spoiling everything about my husband. Copper. Why would you marry a copper? Why would this? Why would this? Why would this? As in, he was giving me so many reasons why I should not marry a copper. But that's not the issue. So we have friends, good friends, and we have there are some friends you just need to do away with. Anybody that is trying to spoil your, the kind of thing, most of us ladies, we look at looks and look at what is in the pockets. But we don't know that what is in the pocket most times will surely one day fade away. So you need to look at the focus, what
But
the
seriously,
man
I
you're
must
about
say
to
this
get
thing.
married.
Now you talk about what is in the pocket. You know, when I was courting my husband, it's not really then. He was not really the like giving type. So if I should say this man doesn't really give then, and I don't, as in I didn't accept to marry. But now, the way he gives me, sometimes I'll be like, is it this person that there when I was cutting him? I was seriously, I'm so really surprised now the way he like. My wife, you have to have this for you have to have this. Seriously, because if I should look at his pocket, then my sister, I don't even think. So go ahead. Sorry to cut you short.
So that is just it. It's just there are some friends we need to do away with. There are some friends we need to keep. But even as you are keeping those friends, you know, it's not all advice you should take. Filter the advice, take the ones you know that can be applicable to your home, and do away with others.
What
Like
about doing
there
away
was
with your old SIM card, your old line? What about, is that okay? Like, since you are going to another stage of life, you should just do away with your old SIM card. Can you do that? Like, can you accept that?
You said what? I can't hear you.
Can you do that? Like, can you accept doing away with your old SIM card?
Okay, to remove my no, I won't no, I will not do that. Oh. To do away with my old SIM card.
Yeah.
That means that if a man should say that, that means the man does not really trust me as a woman.
Yep.
Because I don't know why my husband should tell me that the person I want to get, I should do away with my old SIM card so that I will not be having contact with my no now. It's not possible now.
Let,
That
let
means
me
that
let me
person
even ask you
that
sorry,
there's
let me
no
ask you
trust.
another question because the time going
There
on.
is
Let
no
me
yet
ask you another
trust
question.
in that marriage. There's no yet trust in that marriage.
Okay. I will leave this question for next week, but let's prepare our mind for the question. The question is, let's prepare our mind for next week. The question is, can you just give your husband access to your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your whatever account? This question is from next week. Just so I'm not, don't worry about answering the question. So, Kaka, we have to go because I want to make this like I don't want it to be too long because I was just watching a preaching by one preacher and he was just talking about conversation and it taught me a lot about how to handle conversation. I'm still trying to do that, so we're not going to make it too long. So our vibe this week is still remains being a wife before he finds you. You have a lot to learn, like what we just explained. Now you have to learn how to manage resources, and you have to learn how to managing yourself is just about you learning how to save and also learn how to be a problem solver. Don't start narrating your problems to everybody. Talk to God about everything. I'm still saying talk to God about everything. You can't change a man, but it takes God to change a man. So Kaka, just one word for somebody, you pray for us and we are good to go. Kaka, one word for someone and we are good to go.
Um okay, to the viewers, the listeners, we can all become good wives.
Wow. Network. Oh my God. I just want to say thank you, Lord, for today. Thank you, Lord, for preparing someone to be a wife before he finds her. Thank you for that person that is watching me that is about to get married. Thank you because if you adhere to all this, God is going to bless you and going to make your marriage a wonderful one. So next week we'll be talking about submissiveness in marriage And if we have another topic, we might add. So if you want to join us to talk about this, why not just mail or chat me or comment on our YouTube? Don't forget to subscribe. We get to go now. I love you guys. Bye, Kaka. I need you. I think you drop your word next week. I love you. Hello, Kaka. You there?